I'm ready.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Ashley, aka DJ Such a Lady, and I'm here with Commissioner Louis Minor for Precinct 4.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for setting this up.
Absolutely. So, before we get into it so deep and into the weeds, can you please let everyone know who you are, what you do, and why we should vote for you?
Yeah, so my name is Louis Miner. I'm the Bell County Commissioner for Precinct 4, which covers the west side of the county.
Mm-hmm.
Each commissioner represents about 100,000 people. And for people that they ask, what does a commissioner do? The best thing I could do is liken it to city council, but on the county level. So we are responsible for road bridges. We are responsible for funding county government. So the sheriff's department, road and bridge, indigent defense, indigent health care, um, adult probation, juvenile detention center. I mean, the list just goes on and on of all the responsibilities that uh, we have, um, and then we set the tax rate too for the county. So we don't we don't set the appraised value of property. That is done over there at the appraisal district where you are at.
Yes.
But we set the tax rate. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. So I'm running for re-election
Okay.
in the primary, and then early voting begins February 17th. The last day to register to vote for the primary is February 2nd, and then we have 2 weeks early voting, and then election day is March 3rd.
Okay. So you gave us a background of what you've done as a commissioner, but prior to being a commissioner, what did you do with your career in life?
Well, I'm ex-military. I did
Okay.
10 years in the Army, deployed to Iraq. I was
Mhm.
a infantry officer. I
Okay.
got out as a captain, '03, airborne, got my CIB,
Oh
all
wow.
that stuff. Before that, I was in law enforcement, and then I graduated. I was born and raised in Bell County,
Hmm.
uh, in Belton. I grew up in Belton, graduated high school in Belton, and then I went to work at Wilson Art International. So back then, it was like a really, one of the top-notch companies to go to work for.
Yes.
My mom was working there, so that probably helped out that I
Yeah.
got on. But I did that for a couple of years, and I didn't feel challenged, and I wanted to challenge myself, so I went to college, Temple College,
Okay.
and I got my associate's degree with my uh, law enforcement certificate, so I could be a police officer, and I did that. And it was funny because initially you only needed a couple of hours. Like all I wanted to do was be a state trooper.
Okay.
So initially, you only needed a couple of hours of college to do that. So I said, okay, let me go to Temple College, get my couple of college credit hours, so I can apply for to be a state trooper.
Mhm.
During that process, I think it was only like a couple of hours that you needed, and they had a certificate that was 30 hours. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'll just get my certificate and then I'll go to Highway Patrol. But during that process, then they bumped up the requirements to 60 hours, and I'm like,
Okay.
well, damn, that's an associate's degree. Let me go ahead and get my associate's
Right.
degree. So I wound up doing that, but during that whole process, then they bumped up their requirement to a bachelor's degree. I'm like, oh man. So
Mhm.
because DPS did that, kind of forced me to get my bachelor's degree. I wasn't the best kid in high school. I
Right.
didn't apply myself, but whenever I was in college,
Hmm.
because it was a topic that interested me, you know I excelled.
Good.
Stuck with it, and now I have a master's degree in public administration. And if you would have asked me a long time ago, whenever I was in high school, if I would have all those college degrees, I would have laughed at you because
Yeah.
just I didn't see it. But you never know where the world takes you. But after the military, I went to work for Homeland Security in Washington D.C. And so I worked there for 2 years in the National Operations Center.
Okay.
I had my top secret SCI clearance, so that's
Mhm.
the
That's as
highest.
high as it
That's
goes.
as high as it goes, and so I enjoyed my time there. But when I was working with Homeland Security, I really saw the big government work and why we have the federal government because I was there for Hurricane Sandy,
Okay,
and you know that hurricane. I mean, it just overwhelmed the state, and New York is a very wealthy state,
correct.
but it just overwhelmed everything that they could do to respond. So that was the federal government having to come in and take care of stuff. So then coming back to Texas, coming back home, I wanted to work for myself and get involved in politics, and that's what I did, and
Okay.
until getting elected.
A lot of people say that federal government is too big and too overwhelming. How do you feel about a statement like that?
Uh, Once again, you may think that, but when you need federal government,
Correct.
that's when it doesn't matter how big it is or anything like that. Federal government is there to protect us,
Correct.
to follow the Constitution, make sure that we life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what federal government is there for.
Okay.
So whenever we need assistance, whether it be a natural disaster, an emergency, or SNAP, WIC, all
Hmm.
these programs, childcare, all these programs are federal programs that millions of people depend on every year, and that's something that we have to sustain, and because that pulls people out of poverty. One of uh, my heroes is LBJ,
Okay.
president. He had a war on poverty, and I think we need to return to that war on poverty. Lift people out of poverty. We're spending billions of dollars across the country, across the world,
Sure.
and we need to do a lot of investment in the human infrastructure here back home.
Not only human infrastructure, because we saw that with the government shutdown, how important it was
Hmm.
that the federal government, how much money that impacts us, especially in this area with Fort Hood right here. A
Yeah.
lot of soldiers weren't getting paid. A lot of retirees were concerned. But I think also in Precinct 4, that really impacts us more than probably the average American.
Hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because we have a lot of retirees here,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of disabled veterans here, and there's a lot of low income families here in the area. So they depend on SNAP benefits. They
Mm-hmm.
depend on Social Security, VA. I have VA healthcare,
Yeah, I do too.
and I love my VA healthcare, but this is the first time that I can recall that they can't see me,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pushing me to the private sector, and I think that's by design.
Okay.
Because there's been a long push to get privatized the VA.
Right.
So we know that the Trump administration froze hiring. We know Trump administration has uh, left thousands of VA positions open,
Mm-hmm.
and that's hurting veterans and their families, and that's forcing us, making us go to the private sector,
Right.
and I think they're trying to get us in that mindset to where um, that we're going to be okay with that, and I'm never going to be okay with it. I enjoy the VA. I love the camaraderie whenever I go there, talking to older veterans, even younger veterans now,
Right.
and I get top-notch health care there. And like I said, I'm going to do everything I can to maintain that.
Okay. What are some other things you plan on doing with veterans or helping veterans in this area?
Well, just educating people, letting them know the services that the county offers. We have a veteran service officer
Okay.
in the county, and their responsibility is to help them with their claims
Okay.
and any other type of assistance. We also have a help center that is for veterans to get any assistance that they may need. I know they do some rental assistance, some helping pay utilities if you get in a bind, things like that.
Okay.
Those are resources that we have here in the county for our veterans. Um, but the Veteran Service Officer, the VSO, they have access to the VA claims that regular service organizations they don't have. So they have a more detail, so they can get into the detail and keep you really up to date on your claim and where it's at in the system.
Where are they located at?
On Priest Drive
Okay.
downtown, we're at the Bell County Annex. We're building a new annex,
Yes, we are.
so the VSO will move to the new annex once it's complete in October of this year. But yeah, no, that's a underutilized resource that we have. Now they're busy, but
Right.
I still think that people don't know about them, and so we need to educate people about the county VSO program.
And I like that. So we're talking about all the things that a commissioner is in charge of. We have the VSO programs. A big question that I got because I went to Facebook and asked, "What do you guys want to know? What's up with the roads in Killeen? Well, the roads in Bell County, but the roads
Mhm.
in Killeen specifically."
So the county commissioners, don't have anything to do with the roads inside the city limits.
Okay.
That is city of Killeen.
Okay.
So what we have county roads, state roads, and city roads.
Mhm.
So we're responsible for the county road and bridges that are not state and not city. So that's what the commissioners are taking care of.
I thought you were fighting for a stop sign by the
Well,
school.
Chaparral Road
Yeah, I
is
heard about that.
it's a county road.
Absolutely.
Right now, it's a county road. There are plans to turn it into a 5-lane road.
Okay.
It's going to take significant federal dollars that we haven't got yet. But once we get those, we're going to move forward with that. And then that road will be given to the city of Killeen. City of Killeen is in the lead um, as far as the development now, the getting the plans together for that expansion of Chaparral Road. But as of right now, it's still a county road. We put stop signs there, make it safer. We're going to put stop lights this year
Okay.
there. That will improve the flow of traffic whenever because Chaparral High School is right there, and Jimmy Don Middle School.
Mhm.
There's supposed to be an elementary school going in too off of Chaparral Road.
Really?
So yeah, in Turnbow Ranch, new development there'll be an elementary school going back there. So there's going to be a lot of schools there that we need to make sure that the students and parents and workers are safe going to and from work and
Absolutely.
school.
Speaking of schools, um, another group of questions that I received was the schools closing down in Killeen. How do you, as a commissioner, is that your impact or was that impacted by the city of Killeen,
No, that's by the school board.
the school board in
Yeah,
itself?
the Killeen ISD Board of Trustees.
Hmm.
They make those decisions. They're elected,
Correct.
so they're responsible and answerable to voters on far as closing down schools. Commissioners don't play a role in that
At all.
at all.
So as the most you do is set the tax rate, and that's probably the biggest impact for the schools.
No, because the schools set their own tax rate.
Okay.
So the schools set their own tax rate,
Hmm.
and so yeah, the school is its own entity. It's its own taxing authority, and it has its own elected officials, just like the city of Killeen.
Correct.
And so the commissioners court, we don't have any control over any of those entities. There are some things that we would have some authority over during emergencies, but outside of that, um, yeah, they're pretty much autonomous, you know, on
Okay.
their own.
So you don't work with them in any capacity aside for emergencies?
I mean, if yeah, I mean, we do 312 tax abatement agreements where we got to
Hmm.
work with cities. You're trying to get a new business to come in, and like Facebook. Facebook comes in and they need tax abatement agreements. We work with the cities, the economic developments. The most we could do is a 10-year tax abatement agreement. But seeing how that works, it's negotiated with the entity that's coming in, and then with all of the taxing authorities. So yeah, we do work together with all the taxing authorities on stuff like that, economic development.
Okay, so economic development is a big issue as well, especially for entrepreneurs. A lot of people feel like they cannot find a job in this area, but the cost of living continues to rise. What do you have a plan for that?
Well, I have a lot of plans, but it's, I'm the only Democrat on the commissioner's court, so uh, to put in ideas because other counties, other cities, they have small business incubators, they have grants for small businesses, they have a lot of incentives to help entrepreneurs and small businesses. We don't have anything like that in Bell County. We could, but the commissioner's court uh, doesn't support programs like that right now. I'm not going to say they're not going to do it in the future, but as of right now, they don't support any programs like that.
Yeah, because Colleen had a small business development.
Hmm.
Um, I guess it was a program, and both of those ladies who worked there were laid off by the city of Colleen's economic development, from what I was told. I think whatever we do, we should bring that program back.
Hmm.
If we could find the money anywhere, county or in city, I think it was one of the most beneficial things we had in Killeen.
Yeah, and seeing what the state has,
Hmm.
where we can piggyback off that. Even the federal government, I know the Small Business Administration on Fort Hood, they used to have a small business outreach coordinator where it was their job to get these local businesses because they had contract hub goals.
Right.
And whenever I first came and to back to Texas, back to Killeen, and started my construction company, uh, I met the small business SBA outreach person on Fort Hood. When that person retired, it was never filled, and I don't think it's filled now.
Oh, wow.
So,
Before we go any further, can you explain what hub is? Because some people may not know.
historically underutilized businesses. So it's a designation that the state used to give.
Hmm.
And there's a whole lot of drama with that now that the
Yeah.
comptroller just did away with hub, uh, even though I don't think he can because it's a law.
Correct.
So that'll be litigated. But anyways, it was a thing for businesses to sign up for a certification where it would give them an opportunity to get looked at for businesses contracts with the
Hmm.
state and city and county because a lot of cities and counties adopted hub themselves. Federal contracts, they all have hub requirements. So but I think that's probably on the chopping block too at the federal government.
Yes, a
That
lot of changes going on.
Yeah, so I think as of right now, uh, the state comptroller's office they created this thing called Vet Hub.
Hmm.
So if you're a veteran-owned business, I think and I think there's still opportunity
Okay.
to sign up for Vet Hub and at least try and get into that program because a lot of businesses, especially here in Bell County, Killeen area, there a lot of the owners, are veterans. So you're able to utilize that and take advantage of that Vet Hub program.
Okay. I didn't know about that hub.
It just started.
Okay. I'm usually on top of things, so
Yeah,
that's why I'm like,
when they completely did away with Hub,
yeah.
which, like I said, I think it's illegal. They can't do that. But the comptroller did away with Hub. He created Vet Hub,
Okay.
and he's saying that's the only recognized program that the comptroller is going to work with as far as contracting with state government.
Okay. Wow. So I learned something new right now. And we're talking about those type of businesses. One of the things I think you're the most known for is decriminalization of marijuana.
Hmm.
And the objective of that was so people wouldn't be arrested at the rate, waste a lot of taxpayer money,
Hmm.
and to create jobs in Bell County. How's that going?
Well, it was at the Third Court of Appeals, and from my understanding, that lawsuit left the Third Court of Appeals, and now it's back in district court here in Bell County, and they just got to schedule a time for the hearing. There's been a lot of changes since we voted on, the citizens voted
Hmm.
on decriminalization of marijuana here in Killeen. Um, I think I just saw that the federal government is rescheduling marijuana, so it's no longer going to be a the most dangerous class. I think it's I'm trying to think. I think it's maybe like a class three. I forgot the exact verbiage, but it was the one that showed it as having no medical value.
Correct.
I think the Trump administration is changing that. Here in Texas, they actually voted to ban all CBD derived, and it passed the legislature,
Hmm.
but the governor vetoed that bill. So that's why we still have and CBD in here now. But I think there's some coordinated efforts to change all that. We all know where the the people are going with marijuana. I say tax it, regulate it. Every state that touches Texas, it's legal in some form or fashion. Either I think New Mexico is fully uh, recreational.
Hmm.
Louisiana is medicinal, and even the liberal state of Oklahoma is medicinal.
Okay. Because I know with that, um, uh, the people who are against, so 70% of people voted for this.
Hmm.
The people that are against marijuana, I just don't see how 30% can make a difference when you lost the election. It seems like it's a violation of liberty and what America stands
Hmm.
for.
Well, I mean, they're saying it's against state law, but there's a lot of things that they overlook as far as the. To me, it seems like Republicans are picking and choosing what laws they want to enforce and what laws that they don't want to enforce.
Hmm.
You see it now happening on the news in real time where they're talking about all these ICE protesters, you know, attacking law enforcement, and they're going to stand up for law enforcement. The president is 100% supporting law enforcement, but then this is the same president that pardoned all the January 6th lawbreakers that were attacking law
Literally attack
enforcement
them.
on camera, spraying bear spray in their face,
Hmm.
and but he stands for law and order.
It's kind of conflicting, if you ask me.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's really conflicting. For the police here, I just seen in Copper's Code that a police officer just lost his life.
Hmm.
Did you see that as
I did.
well? That's very unfortunate. My heart goes out to their families. A lot of my conservative viewers feel as if Democrats do not support police. But you just said you were a police officer
Hmm.
yourself. What would you have to say about that?
About the officer getting killed.
Both of them. How you feel about the police officers now? Even though that's Copper's Cove,
Hmm.
it's just down the street, 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. I understand how difficult it could be to be a police officer. We didn't have body cameras whenever I was a police officer.
Hmm.
We had in car cameras, but not every car had a camera. At least
Hmm.
here in this area, they were slowly working on it. But now the public has cameras. I inherently want to give the officer the benefit of the doubt that what they're saying is true. What they're saying is based on a perceived threat. But we know there are some bad apples out there too.
Right.
So we need to hold law enforcement accountable when they need to be held accountable, and then support them when appropriate as well.
Hmm.
But it shouldn't be one over the other.
Right.
They used to call the blue curtain, the blue shield, where officers protect officers. We should get rid of that because that that only hurts the community's trust in law enforcement. And this is a time where we need to trust our law enforcement.
Yeah. 'Cause, again, a lot of people think that liberals or the Democrats don't support police. So I think that's a good perspective to have. especially with the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that.
Mhm.
I think it's just I just think certain people just want to create that narrative to create more division.
Right. No, I mean, they live here with us.
Hmm.
Law enforcement, they're our neighbors.
Correct.
They're us. So they're
Hmm.
veterans too. So, yeah, no, like I said, I'm always going to give law enforcement the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, I will call them out whenever something is unjustified or wrong.
Yeah, there's two things about the law enforcement I love in Killeen. Kyle Moore, I like what he does with the homeless program,
Hmm.
the HAP, Homeless Assistance Program, I think it's called. And then there's a guy named Big John. He brought jujitsu into the police force. So his thing is if you feel more confident, you're more likely to be calmer in situations. And then also it's a good way to get in shape. And so he's a black belt. He just got his black belt about a year and a half ago. And he's a huge guy. He's my training partner. Can't beat him, but he's my partner. And I really enjoy the fact that they're so involved in the
Hmm.
community. So I've trained with the police officers here as well in the fashion and jujitsu. And it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So we talked about a lot of things. Um, One of the questions I have is what have you already done for Bell County and why should we vote for you again?
Well, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of things that we look at as far as what does it mean to be effective as a uh, commissioner. What is the public looking for? Are they looking for quality of life? Are they
Hmm.
looking for the type of services? And the county judge uses the term level of service.
Hmm.
And that could be response times, how long it takes you to get your vehicle registered whenever you go down there, because we fund those departments that take care of that. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the tax rate. That's what people complain the most about.
Yes, they do.
uh, you know what are what is the tax rate? Where are my taxes going up? And it's not. The commissioners court this year we set the no new revenue rate, which I think is what a lot of people like, especially on the Republican side. And then the year before that, I voted against our tax rate and our budget because we did a massive increase. Now, I'm not opposed to increases to fund our government and to if it's a need.
Hmm.
But what we were doing was not a need. Um, so we spent $100 million, over $100 million of ARPA money. So that was money that we got from COVID. A lot of counties and cities did innovative things with that money. But what Bell County did was they put all of it into a jail expansion program. So we added, I think, 900 beds to our jail, making it one of the largest jails in the state, county jails. But we don't have that many extra inmates. So what do they want to do? They want to go out and I call it a for-profit prison system, where they want to go and try and make money off of our jail.
Oh, wow.
So they needed to hire jailers, but unperceived consequence of that was all of our costs go up, primarily our medical. They didn't account for how much our medical is going to go up. So, I mean, we had a massive increase on our jail medical because we're expanding how many inmates we're taking from
Mm.
at a county. So, and now that the jail is fully online, one of the first things one of the commissioners said is like, "Oh, we need to fill it up." I'm like, "No, that should not be our goal. Is to fill up our jail."
Who said to fill up the jail?
One of the commissioners.
Which one?
One of the commissioners. Uh,
I want to know who it is.
so yeah, that should not be our goal, to fill up the jail. We need to have minimum amount of people in there as possible. There, there's a lot of things that we could do um, to our criminal justice system. I think it needs to be completely reworked here in Bell County
Hmm.
to make the system work better because there's a lot of silos and a lot of uh, information that we just don't have to make informed decisions. So we need to do a better job at collecting data so we can make these informed decisions, data informed decisions.
I remember when I had a motorcycle accident. My memory's not sharp. Where the guy was in jail for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name.
Cedric, I think Martin.
Yes, that should have never happened.
Well, I'll give you another one. There was, I saw this guy this weekend. He's in the community now, but so he got arrested for, I think, sexual assault on a child.
Hmm.
Bad charge,
Terrible.
and if you're guilty of it, then you deserve your time in jail. Um, but this guy, he got charged. He was a teacher. He got charged, and he sat in jail for 15 months, 1-5. And then the district attorney dropped the charges on him
Wow.
and released him. And this guy, when I met him, he was homeless, living on the streets. The jail just opened the door and said, "See you later." And now this guy is looking for resources. He had medical problems, and I mean, he was in bad shape. And to me, that should have never happened. Um, if you're going to um, drop charges, you should have dropped them very quickly.
Hmm.
If you knew that the elements of the crime did not exist. Now, I don't know what happened other than those facts is that he got arrested and charged. They kept him for 15 months in county jail at our tax dollars expense, and then he got released. And now we have to take care of him because he lost his job,
Hmm.
and he has a lot of medical issues. And I don't think he's working now. I just saw him this weekend. I don't think he's working now,
Wow.
but he his life is ruined because of that. And he's an older guy, so I don't. I'm hoping that he could get on his feet, but something broke down there. Either, um, yeah, something broke, and that should not have happened.
Wouldn't that fall underneath county judge?
No, it never went to the judge.
It never even got that far because
Nah.
they, hmm,
So that was the district attorney
the district
that
attorney.
messed that up.
And we vote for the district attorney.
Hmm. Yeah, we vote for the
So
district
it's an
attorney.
elected position.
It's an elected position.
A lot of people say voting does not matter, especially at the local level. The DA is one of the most important positions.
Hmm.
It doesn't necessarily fall under you, but it's still county, right?
We fund it.
You fund it,
Yeah.
so it's very
So
important.
so if they have um, any new personnel requests, if they got any new monies that they need spent on something, new equipment, vehicles, printers,
Hmm.
computers, all that stuff, we approve.
Okay.
So all of county government, we approve their budgets and the tax rate.
Even it gets finicky because it seems like the judicial would have their own budget
They do.
and it falls under you still.
Yeah, no, they do
Okay.
have their own budgets. Every elected official and department they have their own budget, and
Hmm.
that just gets wrapped up into the entire budget for the county, and then we approve it or disapprove it. Their requests each year, and then we set the tax rate based off of that.
How much is this budget?
It's I think 170 million, 190 million.
Oh, this is a good budget, big budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's really unfortunate that that happened to that guy. And it's probably plenty of stories like that we don't even know
Hmm.
about. So maybe that's something we need to talk to the DA about. Or
Well, she's new. We got a brand new DA this
okay,
year,
who is she? Do you?
Stephanie Mule.
Okay.
So yeah, Henry Garza had been the longtime district attorney
Hmm.
for 20, 30 years,
Wow.
and he retired finally.
Was he unopposed for the majority of it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's not bad.
Hmm.
Okay. So the criminal justice system in Bell County, and you always think of the criminal justice system as the state of Texas. I really never thought about how we at Bell County can impact it, or how you're involved with it to the extent that we could use our money to build brand new jails
Hmm. And courtrooms.
and courtrooms. It seems like we just need to. We could have used that a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think people obviously they're going to be concerned with spending of government
Hmm.
and the tax rate, but if you tell them what it's for, educate them and let them know, they'll be okay with it. You know, like here in Killeen, I'm a Killeen resident. Uh, Homeless is a big problem. You hear everyone complaining about the homeless. Let's do
Hmm.
something. Businesses, politicians, and citizens, they all talk about, we need to do something with the homeless. They were working on a program, to build a shelter and everything, but they said they don't have any money. I said, okay, well let's put that to the voters. Let the voters, the voters are telling our elected officials, let's do something about this. The businesses are telling our elected officials, let's do something about this. And you can only go up 3.5% on the tax rate.
Correct.
Put it to the voters and let the voters vote on. Yeah, we want to fund this homeless shelter and the operations, and we're going to vote for it. Put it to the voters. And if it fails, then you know what the voters really want.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't and it gets passed, then we invest in that and make it a priority.
Okay. I really wish the business district and the homeless shelter weren't put next to each other.
Hmm. Or
I,
the downtown,
yeah,
not necessarily
downtown.
the business district, but downtown. We have business parks and stuff like that.
We
But
should get, well, I think we should have a business district, but that's a whole different
mhm.
conversation. But understood. It just seems like I've just never seen that work
Hmm.
for a city in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form.
I mean, they have it in Austin. They have the homeless shelter downtown, and yeah, you always see people, laying around.
It's not a good look.
No, it's not a good look.
I get it, it's Austin, but I don't think it's a successful model that I would want
Hmm.
Killeen to follow as a Killeen resident myself. But when we talk about the homeless people, as well as there's a food desert in the same area, what can we do to help with the lack of grocery store in that area? Well, what can you do as a commissioner?
I mean, you know, we could do a lot of stuff, just like the city can, but there has to be um, on the commissioner's court. You need 3 votes to make something happen. So that's the thing. There's a lot of laws on the books that can help businesses, help families,
Hmm.
help the community. For instance, like a county park. We
Hmm.
don't have any county parks, but we could because the law allows us to. We could have county libraries, but we don't. We could have county utilities, but we don't. There's a lot of things that the law allows for that if we had the political will to do those things, I think it would make people's lives better. For instance, childcare.
Hmm.
They had a law that passed not too long ago that if you're a daycare center, childcare facility, you can be tax exempt, 100% tax
Okay.
exempt. But the commissioner's court had a vote on it and approve it, even though the voters of the state already approved it. Um, so I brought it forward, and other commissioners voted no. They didn't want to do that. That would help working families, and so it's things like that that why it matters. Who's there in office.
Speaking of, it seems like you're getting a lot of pushback from your peers. What are some things you fought for that you didn't get assistance with that you think could have helped the community a lot?
Well, for instance, that
Okay.
but just looking at economic things, if it what would you say if I told you I'm going to bring you $770,000 of free money, and you don't, most government stuff you got to match, have some sort of match.
Sure.
This was zero match.
I'd have
Uh,
said, where do I sign up?
yeah, so there's a program. There was a program out there. I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was part of a settlement agreement with Volvo, not Volvo, Volkswagen,
Okay.
that the state of Texas did. Bell County had a little over $1 million allocated to it. What you was going to do with the money was to take a diesel vehicle, decommission it, and then buy an electric vehicle and any infrastructure associated with it. City of Killeen took advantage of it, and they bought an all-electric something out at the airport to help with that. So they got it. They got, I think, $200,000-$300,000 for that. For Bell County, what I was trying to do was get an electric, say like dump truck, get an electric dump truck. It was going to be 100% paid for. But what I really wanted was the infrastructure money, so we could put charging stations throughout the county, and we could have charged people to use the charging stations. So the county was going to make money with it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, the commissioners said no, they didn't want to be in the electric charging business.
Is it because of maybe because Texas already has oil, they don't want another source of energy? I don't understand why they would say no.
Um, I don't understand either. I don't understand either. But like I said, that would have benefited the county.
Mm-hmm.
It was free money, and we would have made money.
Okay.
So how can you be against that?
I don't know. I'm not against money. I'm never against money. There was a wow, that's and a lot of my Tesla people would have appreciated that, and they got a lot of new electrical vehicles coming out.
But what I was able to do is through a 312 tax abatement agreement in my precinct. We're doing a 800-acre solar farm in South Killeen. Part of that agreement, I was able to get $50,000 for a charging station. Just one charging station, level 3 charging station, will cost about $100,000.
Okay.
So I got 50,000, and I partnered with the city of Killeen, gave that money to the city of Killeen, and we're going to get at least one public charging station here in Killeen, because Killeen and Bell County made that agreement.
On the south side?
I don't know where they're going to put it. Where the city of Killeen is going to put it, that's going to be up to them. But I just got the money allocated for that, and City of Killeen will be taking the lead on that.
Okay. It's kind of tricky where Killeen's authority stops and where yours start.
Well, we could do a lot when we work together and we have agreements, interlocal agreements, ILAs. So yeah, we could do a lot when we work together.
Okay. All right. What about, so we're talking about city council. Hey, Killeen city council meetings, do you attend those?
Not all of them. I used to be on Killeen Planning and Zoning, so I was very tuned in to what City of Killeen is doing. I'm a Killeen resident, so whatever's in the paper, if there's something big, they might reach out to me. But I mean, I'm probably more tuned in than most people.
Yeah. What you seen what Melissa Brown's been doing with the city council? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean,
because people on Facebook and they're saying City of Killeen has a lot of corrupt leadership, and Melissa Brown's calling them out according to what I see. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any corrupt leadership. I have not seen any corruption. Um, you know, I think we need to make sure that our elected officials are well educated. So making sure that they go to conferences and training. I try to go to as much training and conferences as I can, because you you know we need good ideas, and good ideas. There's a lot of good ideas outside of Killeen, outside of Texas, outside of Bell County. So networking with other elected officials, other staff, and seeing what is working and what's not working, and try to get ideas that we could bring here. So I think we definitely need to invest in educating our elected officials.
I agree with that. It seems like there's a resistance to progressiveness for jobs and careers in Killeen. Because I come from Michigan, so we're a union state overall. So there's always some type of General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, the sub companies of that. Here it seems like the industry is just really the school district. Um, I would like for us to bring bigger companies here, maybe an Apple, maybe
Hmm.
a Samsung, somebody. So hopefully we can do that as well with City Council as well as the Commissioner Court as well.
Yeah, ditto, ditto. If we could get them here, I would support that.
Okay. So we talked about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's missing. I had my list of questions from my people on Facebook. Um, to be a little, to get into the weeds of things, you're running against Ernest Wilkerson.
Well, he's running against me.
He's running against you. I'm sorry, because you're already in
Yeah.
position. Why do you think you're a better candidate than he is?
Well, I'm a fighter. You know, I have a record of fighting for the people, fighting for what is right, fighting for the underserved and underrepresented, and I will continue to fight.
Mhm.
There's been opportunities where he's had uh, you know, the light was on him to stand up and fight for us, and he didn't. You know, he's on Central Texas College Board,
Right.
and at the beginning of last year, what was our governor doing? He was doing away with diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Hmm.
They banded Black History Month on Central Texas College. If I would have been on the board,
Hmm.
a Central Texas College, and they banned it, I would have hosted my own event. I would have been in the newspaper talking about why it's important that we recognize Black History Month on the college campus. Um, but he was silent on all that. I don't know how many jobs were lost on Central Texas College because of ending DEI. Um, so, so there's that. He voted to increase taxes every year he's been on the school board, uh, and I mean, there's just a lot of other things that you can look at and see why experience matters, and who we have fighting for us matters. You know, I sued the governor over the redistricting. Uh, um, so,
And can you explain why the redistricting was such a problem?
well, it like every gerrymandering that they do, it waters down uh, and breaks up communities of like interests.
Hmm.
You know, breaking up minority districts, trying to dilute our political power.
Do you think it's more because it's minority or because of the economic status, or do they go
No,
hand in hand?
well, I mean, yeah, it usually goes a little bit hand in hand, but yeah, they're trying to dilute black and brown voters.
Okay. All right. Ernest does have a Mr. Wilkerson does have a background in politics. I believe he was also on city council
Hmm.
as well. So he has, I mean, you guys both have good backgrounds with
He was recalled in 2011 from city council.
recall just takes signatures, right?
Hmm.
But did he was recalled, the whole process went through?
He so the entire city council was recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he resigned before the recall election, uh, but everyone that went to the recall election got voted out. So
What's a recall election?
so you sign the petition to
Mm-hmm.
recall someone, you submit it. If there's enough, like Michael Boyd, he got
Mm-hmm.
recalled.
Meaning
Uh,
firing. It
huh?
doesn't mean that they're going to get fired. That's
It,
what a recall is.
it, recall means that you want to have an election to see if this person can be in office still.
Okay.
So you submit the petition. If you have enough signatures, then a recall election um, is you know, put on the calendar. Now, in that interim, I guess you can resign, quit, or whatever instead of going to the recall election. And that's what happened with Ernest. He resigned before the recall election. But everyone that went to the recall election got voted out of office. in 2011.
I wasn't here at that time. So he was the only one that had the. Well, why would the whole entire board get recalled?
It had something to do with Medicaid payments in the hospital, and then the city manager
Oh, wow.
got fired. They paid the city manager. His contract had $500,000 to pay him out. For whatever reason, city council opted to pay him $750,000, so they gave him $250,000 more. I think they had to pay him within a year or within 24 hours. So I mean, it was so after all that happened, uh, they recalled the entire city council. By they, I mean like the city of Killeen residents went ahead and recalled all of city council. So that was interesting footnote for Killeen. If you look at the recall of 2011,
I have to do some research. Did he vote? Did um, Ernest vote to give the guy the 700,000?
they all did.
Oh, so it was unanimous.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
they all got voted out.
the people
And
weren't having it.
in one way or the other, they all got removed from office.
I didn't know. That's an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any controversial things like that happening with you, do you?
No, I've never been recalled. I've never been recalled.
Wow. Even with you being by yourself as a lone Democrat, you never had any issues like that.
No, well, you can't recall county commissioners. It's not like city council.
Right. That's what I say. Anything else? Um, I heard there was an issue with you in Juneteenth. Would you like to expound on that? What people are complaining about your performance? That's the only one I know of.
Yeah, no, I think people are misinformed of uh, the facts on Juneteenth. I voted for Juneteenth to be a county holiday.
Hmm.
Um, Before I got on the commissioner's court, uh, Juneteenth was recognized as a federal holiday.
Right.
The county didn't recognize it.
Absolutely.
I pushed for it. I got help with the Killeen NAACP and the Temple NAACP and the Black Chamber of Commerce, and we were able to get Juneteenth as a recognized county holiday. What people are uh, misinterpreting is I abstained from Juneteenth proclamation. The county did proclamations at the time, but before that, I got to take you through a little history lesson.
Okay, take me through there.
But before that, June is also Pride Month. So I had some residents that reached out and wanted a Pride proclamation for the county. At the time, what the county did was we just did a proclamation. We didn't vote on it or anything like that. We just did a proclamation for whatever month, whatever week, whatever you want to call it. Whenever I did a Pride proclamation, uh, there was a lot of people that protested that. They came to the meeting with holding up their Bible verses and everything, and the county voted no on a Pride proclamation. Keep in mind, we never voted ever on a Pride proclamation, or on a proclamation, period. And I went through the records going back years to see if they ever voted, but they didn't. But that one they did. So, as a matter of protest moving forward, I abstained from every proclamation moving forward. And even to this day, I will abstain from a proclamation, any proclamation. And I take the opportunity to tell people why I'm abstaining uh, from any proclamations that the county does. The judge changed it. Now we don't do proclamations; we do presentations. So there's no voting. Um, so that's where anyone referencing Juneteenth saying that I didn't support Juneteenth. I didn't. I don't support any proclamations. Um, I abstain from them, and there's a difference between that.
So the abstain doesn't mean that you don't support it. It just means you're. What are you trying to convey by abstaining?
I'm not voting for any proclamation.
Okay.
So I haven't voted for any proclamation.
Okay. So just across the board, so no one can say that you're biased or not.
Correct.
Understood.
But that's because the county treated that one proclamation different than any other proclamations than we have ever done.
The Pride
The
one?
Pride Proclamation.
Yeah. I know for Juneteenth, at the tax district, I mean, at the tax board, we're still open.
Mm-hmm.
And I raised my hand and was like, this is a federal holiday. And they
And a county holiday.
and a county. I'm on record and I was like, I think we should be closed. And they said, absolutely not. So I understand in Bell County, they're not very supportive of Juneteenth. It's that simple. And those of us who are in county positions can tell you that
Mm-hmm.
it's not a priority in Bell County. And if you want it to be a priority, you need to go directly to other personnel and let them know, because I don't have any support as well.
Well, I mean, the schools are off. You know,
Mhm.
now the county's off, federal government's off. So, you know, it only makes sense.
Our people still can work if they so choose to.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is because it's tax season, so it's a high level of workload.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've heard that a lot of people in the Black community thought you just did not support Juneteenth. But now we know that it's just
Well,
abstaining
well,
the vote.
you can ask anyone, um, and like I said, you just asked me, so I set the record straight. Like I said, there's a lot of misinformation going out there, you know. But to me, at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
Pride or not Pride, Juneteenth was not recognized by the county whenever I got there, and now it is.
Okay.
So now it's a county holiday because I pushed for it.
I'm thinking of 4-day holidays as a veteran and as an old soldier. Another group of people who had questions were military spouses.
Mm-hmm.
They feel as if there's not enough for them to do here in terms of job, recreation. Do you have any plans for that?
Well, that's more economic development.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I told you there's a whole list of things that the county can do,
Yes.
but this county chooses not to do. One of them is having a county EDC. We could have a county EDC where it could be our job to go out and get businesses and find jobs and bring in those recreational things for the county. Um, we just haven't voted for that.
Okay. I know Temple, they have an amazing EDC.
Yeah, no, Temple,
They're bringing
Killeen,
Meta.
Belton, they all have EDCs, but I think having a county EDC is equally as important.
Do other counties have
Mm-hmm.
county EDC? Tarrant County, Williamson. So we're behind the ball on that.
We're behind on a lot of things.
We gotta be more progressive and move forward with a lot of things, because the cost of living is steadily going up,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no jobs to really provide for that.
Right. I agree.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people? That's all I have for you.
No, just remember to vote. What we're voting on is what type of Democrat do we want to represent us. That's what the voters are voting on. Um, because this is a Democratic primary,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, do we want someone who is proven record of fighting for our values, our ideas, or do we want someone that doesn't have a record like that? Someone that says that they're a moderate. What does moderate mean to you when you hear the word moderate?
For me, a moderate person is the average person these days.
But in politics, what does it mean?
Oh, in politics, it means you're in between probably liberal and conservative.
You go along with the get along.
You go along with the get along.
So I mean, I have to work with Republicans. I work with Republicans every day,
Mm-hmm.
but there's times and instances behind closed doors, in front, when the doors are not closed and open to the public, where your stance matters on things and your voice matters, and letting people know that there are other ways to do things in the county. There's other ways to run the county than what we're getting, and that to me that's my job, is to educate the people, let them know we could be better, we could do better. So that's what the people are voting on. I am 100% uh, funded by Democratic organizations and Democrats. My opponent cannot say that. He's funded by Republicans.
Well, what if his theory, especially younger people, we come on, I'm a millennial,
Hmm.
so we're like get it how you live it type of people. What if that's his philosophy? I don't care where the money comes from because I'm going to use it for the better good.
This is politics. It matters. It matters who's funding you because that's who you answer to.
You're,
I'm not going to vote for a Democrat that gets money from Republicans. I have Republican friends. I'm not asking them for money. Values matter.
so
Integrity matters.
so you feel like if a Democrat's taking money from a Republican, they're going to have Republicans tell them what to do?
Uh, it questions to me their integrity on where they stand on the
Mm.
issues.
So if a Republican said, "Here's $1 million," you wouldn't take it?
You
Okay.
know, just like there's candidates that they don't take money from super PACs.
Hmm.
It's your values, your beliefs, your ideas. Um, you know, I don't want to be beholden to the Republican Party. I don't want to be associated with the Republican Party. I mean, look at what they're doing to our country. So I'm not going to take Republican money.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going with ICE. That's a really big controversy right now, especially with Americans losing their life and their freedom. What's your take on ICE and what's going on right now?
Well, like I said, I'm always going to give the benefit of the doubt to law enforcement.
Hmm.
Um, I do not agree with them snatching people off the streets just simply for being brown or black.
Hmm.
That's the only thing they have to go off of is skin color, and I think it's wrong that we do that. Um, once we have a change in administration, if there are any ICE agents doing anything illegal, they need to be held accountable. Just because you have a president that allows you to break the law doesn't mean you should, and there should be consequences if they do that.
I saw the senator who I think his name's Pete, the one who they said they're attacking his pension because he said
Oh,
you're not.
Mark Kelly.
Yeah, it's Mark Kelly because he said, which is what we're taught from basic
Hmm.
combat training
Hmm.
and beyond. You do not have to answer or do an unlawful order. You
Right.
will be held responsible for
Right.
that. And I thought that was psychotic that they would touch that man's pension after working. I mean, he was a pilot,
He's
worked
a
in
hero.
space. He's a
Yeah.
superhero. Got shot at, like amazing resume.
Hmm.
So that really broke my heart as a veteran. Like we should, regardless if you're right or left, middle, support our veterans,
Hmm.
support our people who fought for this country.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people say, well, Republicans are more for military. Um, I don't know if that's true.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, because a lot in Project 2025, there are a lot of things where they were taking military benefits.
Hmm.
Um, it's we're just in weird times politically.
We are.
I've never seen some of the things I've seen.
It's scary.
It's really scary. If people want to support you, how can they go about that?
So they can look me up on Facebook, Louis Miner, Commissioner Miner,
Hmm.
there, or TikTok. I'm on TikTok too, Twitter, same thing. So reach out. We're getting down to the wire, so
Hmm.
it's getting close. So um, we're gonna have to make a decision. And like I said, I'm proud of the work that I've done. I'm proud of my record, and I want to continue to fight for the residents of Elk County.
I appreciate that. Any other thing you want to say to the people before we go?
Nope, just vote, vote early.
Vote early. Commissioner Louis Miner. Thank you all for checking in with us. Again, I'm DJ Such a Lady, and thank you so much, and we'll see you later.